What's up, Crashed It Nation? This is Jonathan Wood. This is episode number 42 on the Crashed It podcast. Today, we've got guest of Bailey and Brady Braatz. There are some compact drivers, well known coming up in the sport, well known for their hard hitting action. I believe Brady's the one that has a YouTube channel. You can go check them out. If you're watching this stream, go check out the Braatz. I think it's Braatz Demo Works, or what is it? What's your YouTube channel?
Braatz demo team.
Okay. Braatz demo team. Check that out. Awesome footage. We'll get into that here in a minute. Before we do, we're going to get right into some news that we got going on. Of course. Sorry, like I said, it's always something. All right, we got some news. This weekend, we are going to have in Lebanon, Missouri, it's going to be your Mad Dog Demolition Derby put on by Oklahoma City Boys Promotions. Be sure to check that out. We know we have a lot of drivers from around central Missouri heading to that one. Gates open at 5, show starts at 6. It's going to have semi-stock full size action, 1,500 to win. Semi-stock compacts, 800 to win. Bone stock hobos, 1,000 to win. I know we got a lot of local guys going there. They're going to put on a show. I know Jacob's heading up there right after. I think he's taking the same car he took Peoria. But also something that's happening really big in the Demolition Derby world right now is the 2023 SMW Expo. It's the Smith Metalworks Derby Expo, and that's happening April 1st. You can find out all about the agenda. I've got it on the screen for those who are tuning in live. It's just we have an expo center, conference hall. They're going to have energy management. They're going to have all kinds of actual conferences and stuff like that for all the people that are interested in like Demolition Derby. They're having like seminars, and to me, that's huge for the sport. They're going to have a full-on youth derby, like the whole thing's a youth derby. Like they're newcomer derby drivers, and then the ones that are doing the inspection and the officiating are actual youth as well, that have been in the sport for a few years. That's going to be really cool to see how it gives a chance for the youth drivers that are coming up to see what the promoters have to deal with. And also it gives them a better idea of just, how to interact with promoters going on in the future. But they're actually having like a parade, and like a driving seminar. Like you can actually get in a full on built car and drive it around. I thought that was really cool. Great thing for the Demolition Derby sport. I believe that is happening in Ohio. You can check that out, verify that. Don't fact check me on that. I might be wrong. Also in Yuba City, California, April 1st and 2nd, Spring Extreme. That's Track Shots Lives. First demo of the year, if I'm correct. And them guys always put on a really good show there. So check that one out as well. I know here at Crashed It, we're gearing up for April 15th. That's going to be our Lucky Sevens Promotions Figure 8 Championship Series season opener. Everybody, we're going to have powder puff, youth bump and runs, figure 8 action, and that's going to start at 7 p.m. in Russellville, Missouri. But that's all the Derby news this week. We're going to get right into Bailey and Brady Braatz. We're going to hear about their journey through the Demolition Derby sport and what they're all about. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then right after the commercial break, we'll get right into Brady and Bailey and see how their career started, trials and tribulations through their career, and just what their future plans are and some memorable moments.
Lucky Sevens Promotions is a premier motorsport promotion company specializing in demolition derby and figure eight racing. We've got over 20 years of motorsport entertainment under our belts. We are a driver's first organization. We strive to put on the most competitive, fair, and fun experience for drivers while still providing a fun and engaging experience for our fans. If you're interested in bringing motorsport entertainment to your event venue, please contact Lucky Sevens Promotions. We will be thrilled to discuss various entertainment options we can provide. Check us out on Facebook and LuckySevensPromotions.com. Lucky Sevens is always willing to add to our array of sponsorship partners. If you are in any way interested in becoming an advertising partner, do not hesitate to contact our staff. We would be happy to assist you in creating an excellent marketing venture for your company. We have a vast portfolio of sponsorship packages to fit any budget. So if you're looking for a fun, family-filled activity, check out Lucky Sevens Promotion. It's a show that you will not want to miss. 2022 was a smashing success. We ask that you join us in making 2023 even bigger and better. See everybody in 2023.
All right, we're back. And on the phone, we've got Bailey and Brady. Um, we'll start with either whoever wants to go first, and then we'll just go back and forth for you guys. Kind of tell everybody who you are, how you got started into the sport of demolition derby.
Well, hi, my name is Bailey Braatz, and I kind of got started with my dad. And my first derby car was a 76 station wagon that he built for me. And my first test run was on the track, so it's kind of scary. But I jumped right in it and didn't make it very far. And then I figured I would switch to compacts. So right off the get-go, I started with the stock Grand Am, and I got Mad Dogs, my first compact derby. So, I mean, I thought it was pretty fun. And then I jumped in to semi-weld at the Cannon Falls Fair. And it was usually just once a year until I graduated out of high school. And then I really started traveling. And in 2019, me and my buddies decided we wanted to go to Florida and run the Iron City promotions with the compact. So we spent the week out there. That was fun. And then the last 2 years, it's been more of like a mod weld kind of scene. And I kind of like that the most. I kind of throwing around the rules and stuff like that. So right now it's just the weld compact is what I most enjoy. My favorite kind of build. So
Oh yeah.
hi, it's
So
Brady.
your dad brought you into the sport pretty much.
He did.
Did he
Yep.
derby a lot? What kind of cars did he derby?
He derbied way back when, and with you just broke the windows out of them and ran it how they were, and he ran the old Impalas and the station wagons as well. Yeah.
So was his driving style like a more of a mad dog, or was he one that picked his shots, or do you remember watching him
He
on the track?
he was I don't remember him on the track, but I can remember watching the videos of him running. And when he won, his nose was in the air and his ass end was folded up. I mean, he was used up, so he definitely knew how to use the gas pedal. So I think I get my driving style from him. I should say that.
There you go. About you, Brady, how'd you get started?
Mainly got started through Bailey. He built me my first car, I think 3 years ago, and just worked from there. I think first derby I got third, and last summer me and Bailey ran IMP all summer, and we've been doing pretty good there. So I think we just keep running there. maybe some bigger shows in the future for me. We'll have to see. But yeah, just mainly mid-size for me past few years.
So when you say mid-size, are you talking like Luminas?
My first car was what was it? Yeah, first one was a Monte Carlo, and then I had a '09 Impala last year.
Okay. So when you guys got started, and then what? Now you're building mod cars, mod compact cars, and you've started making a name for your guys' self with the YouTube, and also you ran Blizzard Bash in 21 and 22. How describe the feeling of like just getting to that level of a stage? Is that something that you do whenever you're is there a difference from running that show to a county fair, or is that kind of how all the shows you guys drive in are?
I would say Blizzard Bash is definitely my favorite and will probably be my favorite forever. I mean, I love running there. I mean, a county fair is nice and all, but having everybody come up to you and say, "Hey, I've been watching you on TikTok. I've been watching you on YouTube," and it just, I don't know, you get that feeling that can't describe it really. I don't know. I love running there. Like when I went down to Wicked, I had so many people come up to me and, "Hey, I love watching your YouTube videos and stuff like that," and that just makes my day. So I love doing that.
Yeah, while we're on Wicked, uh, if anyone hasn't watched your guys' in-car cams and stuff like that from the Wicked team show that you guys just ran into, I'd highly suggest that you guys get on the YouTube channel and check it out. You guys get more sticks thrown at you than I've ever seen in my life. Do they
It was
love you
rough.
that much, or what is it?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know they threw the stick in the heat. I got like 2 or 3 sticks thrown at me. I didn't know that until I watched the video. And then, yeah, in the feature, I got 2 thrown at me as well. So, I mean, I don't know. I got a magnet for sticks.
So Brady, I'm guessing, are you is most of those GoPros and stuff, is that what they are, like GoPro cameras, or what kind of cameras are you guys running on your cars?
Yeah, we got all GoPros. There's 2 GoPro Hero 8s, and the new one we got is the GoPro Hero 11. It's brand new. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So we've been
Yeah, that
running
looks
3.
nice. I'm kind of gonna geek out real quick. So how about what are you using for mounts? Because you guys put on some hard shots, and I've been trying to figure out how to go about getting a GoPro, and they're kind of expensive. So for me, and I was like, man, I don't want to lose one of these the first show out. You guys have a special mount that you guys use, or?
So, like when we buy door strapping to weld, or we buy the door strapping from NOR. I don't know what gauge it is, but I think it's like 14 gauge. It's real thin, and it fits right in between the plastic mounts where the bolt goes, and you weld. You have a plate, like a 5x5 plate, and then you weld a piece of that door strapping on the plate, and then you basically space it out and you weld 2 more of them door strapping plates on there, and then your plastic mount flips right over top, and then you just run your bolt through. So basically, instead of a plastic mount, you got a metal one. So
Yeah.
it holds up. I mean, they
Yeah,
haven't
I've
broken
seen.
yet.
They use the underwater cases though.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of your videos, and I was like, man, his videos don't even look like they shake much. Whenever you guys make a big hit or something, you can tell they're totally secure.
Yeah, when we like drill the hole, we drill it just so it can't really tip, and it's really secure in there. So I'm really surprised how they turn out. So, but the
Yeah,
only
that
thing
sounds
is
awesome.
you gotta buy the underwater camera, or the case, I should say. You can't like
Yeah.
use the stock case that it comes with. That's the only downfall, and that's $50 right there. So
Yeah. So let's get back into this. So whenever
So
you said,
hold on before you go on. So you talked about Blizzard Bash. You guys going back next year?
we tried for a spot and we did not get in because we did not make the feature last year. So we're on the waiting list. So it'd be a dream come true again if we got in. But no, we're sitting this year out. So, or our team is, I should say. So if someone needs a driver, I guess I wouldn't be opposed,
That's a bummer. Yeah,
right? I know it.
you talked about loving it. Do you love it? I've seen on Facebook you guys had a motor out of one of your cars. Was that did you love changing the motor up there?
Luckily, I did not have anything to do with that. Jake had a trainee had to swap out, and I don't know what they give you, 3 hours or 4 hours to work on your car. So it was pretty rough, and he got it done. I think we all made it back with like 1 or 2 minutes to spare. It was a pretty rough experience, but other than that, it's I like it. But it was pretty
yeah,
hectic once we lost that first heat. So
you gotta take the listeners through the rebuild on that. So at Blizzard Bash, if you guys aren't familiar, if you lose in the compact division, you run in Saturday morning. So you have a set amount of time to get your car back up there to get it back into the impound lot. And do they retech them, I guess, or something?
yep. So we had to. So it started at 10, and we were the first heat, and we lost, and we couldn't work on our cars until the last heat of the compacts. So we were just sitting there waiting to work on our cars. And I don't know when it ended at 12, or I'd say 12. Then we got back to our cars and brought them back to the trailer. And by that time we had till 4 to work on them, I think. So there's 4 hours. So Jake had to change a trainee. So he had to pull the motor, cradle a trainee, all that out, and split it and swap it. And then Ashton had to pull his frame out, put all his plates on. I had to swap a strut, a ball joint, add my plates, and then Walker had like a CV axle and then add his plates. But I mean, 4 hours doesn't give you a lot of time to add all your plates and do all the stuff that you want to do. So we were all pushing it, and we made it there within 1 or 2 minutes, I would say. So yeah, it was really hectic. There was tools everywhere, scattered out, or it was, yeah.
Hey, I gotta shout out someone on the YouTube live stream. That Ashton, is it Dudin?
Oh God,
He said that you're
Ashton
his
Newton.
dad. He said that you're
No,
his
oh my
dad.
gosh, that's funny. Yeah, I
Was he
guess
like a son to you?
that. Yep, he's my son. Yeah, he's my favorite teammate. Put it that way.
So are Bailey and Brady, are you guys brothers or are you guys cousins, or what's your
We're
guys'
brothers.
relationship? Your brothers.
Yeah, brothers. Yep.
So how'd you guys come up with your numbers?
My 57 was my football number, and I kind of wanted to just be cool like everybody else. So I put an X behind it. That's how my number came about.
Yeah, my 21 is just my favorite number, and I copied Bailey with the X, mine as well.
Right. Something that I think most people see when they look at your guys' cars, um, whenever they're looking around, like pictures on their Facebook or um, just all around, they notice right away you have like spider webs in your like your doors. And you like, what's the thought process behind that?
So it first started off with Cody Knuth from 726 Customs made me a spider web radiator guard, and I wanted to go with I wanted like a theme because I'm all about the looks of a car. It's got to look good, because I won't feel good basically. So I went with the radiator guard, and then Cody had a window net sitting there for somebody else, and I got my hands on it, put it on my car, and I loved the look of it. And I wanted a little more accent for the spider web, so we added little gussets on our cages for like little spider webs. So I think I added 6. I added 4 on my cage and 2 on my window bars. But for Blizzard Bash, I had to cut the ones off my window bars because they were extra support. So that was kind of bummer, but they look cool, and that's all that matters, I think.
Yeah,
The
I
only
was
thing
gonna
that sucks
say,
about the window net is it's I don't know, a safety thing. You can't crawl out of the window, but you got the whole front window. But I don't know. That's the only downfall.
yeah, I seen them up there at Blizzard Bash, and I was like, that is freaking awesome looking. But that was what popped in my head. What if you have a fire? Holy crap!
Yeah,
But
that's going through my head. Like the only thing, it's just well, there's a fire. I gotta man up and jump through the fire, I guess.
what's your favorite part of the build? Did you guys like building up the cars for Blizzard Bash, or is that more of a like where you're from? Is that a normal build style? Pretty similar rule sets?
Um, we're like around here we run 12-inch bumper shock, and we get 6x6 plates, and that's like our limited weld, and that's what we run. The Blizzard Bash build is, I think, too much. Like all the seam welding you got to do and all that just makes for a too long of build, I should say. But I mean, I like building it like once a year. It's fine. But no, it's definitely different than our county fairs. We got to do a lot of cutting if we want to run them around here.
What's the estimated time did you have in this year's Blizzard Bash car?
Well, I started in September doing a couple hours here and there, and I didn't finish until like a week or 2 before. I had the motor in and ready to go. So I take way too long to build cars. I got to have them looking good, and the paint job
Yeah, we were
alone
up.
took like a whole weekend.
Yeah, we were up there at Blizzard Bash, and like I said before we hit the go button, they were getting retech right behind you guys, so we had a chance to go up there and kind of walk around and introduce ourselves to you guys, and they looked like solid builds, and um, you guys, I mean, the builds looked like they held up on the track. I mean, what took you out at Blizzard Bash?
So I bought Rock Auto CV axles, and they don't like when you derby them, so that spun off inside my training. So I broke my CV cup, and that's what took me out. And I got pushed on a berm, or pushed on the side of the berm, and then he hit me while my wheels were still spinning, and I assume that's what snapped it. And then Jake lost a tranny again after he just changed it.
Oh, that
And
sucks.
yeah, I'm not. What?
He drove it out.
Oh, I'm not. it was something to do with his training lines, and he didn't flush out his training or something like that, because he drove it off the track. So I'm not sure. Maybe it got hot or something, but I'm not exactly sure.
You guys drew the Camaros in your heat, right?
No, we drew team domination.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Team that, yeah.
What
And they
was
were
the
some hard
strategy?
cars.
What was the strategy going on once heat draws were announced? What's that like? Are you guys talking as a team, like just trying to strategize, or talk us through finding out who your draw is, and then kind of leading up to you pulling out on the track?
So obviously we drew a hard heat, and we knew that from the get-go. And our strategy was to stay on them. Our plan was to at least try to pin them and take our shots from there. But I think as soon as that green flag dropped, we just all kind of just scattered, and we didn't really have a plan. And that was honestly the first time we've all driven together. So it was definitely a learning experience. I think I don't know. I don't think we drove as a team, but I don't know. It was definitely to stay on them, and I don't think we did a very good job. So it just, something stupid happened where it was 3-on-4, and then it just they just picked away at us. So I think we all had dumb luck. Let's just put it that way.
So you guys have driven in several team shows. In that instance, if you say a man goes out early, 3-on-4, does the whole plan change then? Is it just like, let's try to take him out, send it now,
Let's just go after one guy basically and try to get him out is what the plan is after that. And then
Yeah.
I don't know who got out first, but after that it just seemed like it just one after another, and we were all out. So
Yeah, it's crazy how big of a difference 4-on-4 and then you lose and go 3-on-4, how big of a difference that is. It's such a numbers game.
Yeah, and it's crazy how when you're on the track, just something could happen, and it might look like a team has the upper hand, and then next thing you know, like it's 4-on-3, and then the next thing you know, it's 3-on-2 the other way. It's crazy how momentum shifts out there on the fly, just because things like breaking an axle happen. Especially this year, we've seen a lot of that with the track. Seemed like it was a little rougher than it has been in the past.
Hard. Yep.
Yeah, those bastards didn't. They didn't roll. They didn't roll the track before the Saturday morning heats.
Yeah, we were the first ones out there too, the Saturday morning. So
yeah. Got big plans this summer?
we plan on running my Blizzard Bash car and my Wicked car around here. We gotta do some cutting on my Blizzard Bash car and swapping out like this sub. But other than that, yeah, we just plan on running around here. We don't have any big shows planned. There's a team show in Iowa, the 10 grand to win. I may be thinking about running that show, but other than that, it's just stay around here. So I bought a house now. I'm kind of staying low, kind of broke now.
Yep, that'll happen when you buy a house, especially in this market. We're from Central Missouri, and I know the housing market's just crazy high right now, and the interest rate's not the best around here. It'd be a bad time to buy a house right now in this area.
Yeah,
as the market's there.
too, because we're like 45 minutes south of the Minneapolis, so everybody wants to live in right where we are. So
Okay, so you guys are from Minnesota then?
correct. Yep. Southern Minnesota, Cannon Falls.
So take us through the Wicked heat. That was the fastest heat that of that weekend for sure. All the way across the board nationally. Um, how like did you guys know them people? Did they break off because they know you, or do you know why they broke off, or was it just they left their rear ends out right off the get go and you guys nosed them out and put it right on them from the drop of the green?
So we did not. So we were the last heat of the compacts, and when they drew our team name and their team name, I think their name was Villas, and we didn't know who they were. So I mean, our plan was right off the get go, hammer down. So we know. So back up a little bit. Like, so if you pass tech your first try, you were allowed 4 extra plates. So you get your 10-inch bumper plate shock, and then you get 4x4 plates. So right off before the heat, we had 4 plates. So we knew our cars were going to be pretty stout, and we just said nose it out. We all knew we had pretty decent cars, and they left their rear ends out to eat them up. And our plan was to each pick a car, and I think we all hit one car, and then me and Mike hit one car, and right off the get go, the one guy broke his stick, and then I backed up, and then me and Mike pushed the one guy from like mid track to the end. He breaks his stick and throws it at us, and long after that, like I don't know, 15 seconds later, the last guy breaks the stick when Cody Knuth hits him, and they just drive off the track. I don't know what the reasoning was or why they did that, but I guess they were scared or something because they drove off the track. I think all of them did.
Maybe that was their game plan going in. Like, if it doesn't seem good off the start, let's just break off and try our luck in the consolation. Maybe, I don't know.
Yep, there was a few teams that did that as well. You noticed watching the heat. So, I mean, not a bad. I mean, I don't know, but it was nice for us because we had all that time just to add we were allowed 4 more plates after the heat, and me and Cody didn't even use our plates. I think Cody Knuth welded 2 of his plates on his radiator guard because he didn't know what to do with them, and I just left the 2 plates out because I didn't need them. So I think I was just a little too lazy to weld 2 more on there. So
Did you put the plates anywhere?
I left them off. I just left them on. I
No.
bought them and I left them on the trailer.
Yeah, but did
So
they let you put them like in the rear end too, like to add to strut support or anything like that, or is it just up front?
you were allowed a little piece of angle iron to hold your strut up like beforehand. So I didn't add no plates back there at all. No, I added 6 plates up front and that's it.
So is it like Blizzard Bash then? The Wicked setup, like if you don't pass tech the first time through, then you run your heat with 0 plates then?
No, down there is really laid back. Let's just put it that way. You could honestly do whatever you wanted to after the heat. I mean, so you can't. It's not like Blizzard Bash. You cannot weld your plates from your cradle to your frame, or like your subframe to your frame. It can only be on your frame. The plate can only be on your sub, or the plate. You know what I mean? It can't be connected to anything.
Yeah,
That's the only
they can't
downfall on
tie
it.
together.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's pretty awesome. So what's your guys' favorite part of the build? Like when you're building your cars?
Well, my least favorite is stripping the cars. I can tell you that. So if I can get them stripped before they even hit my shop, would just be nice. But my favorite part is honestly putting the cage in, and after I get the cage in, I'll put the doors on, and I love body shaping. I'll take that. I used to have just a regular hammer to do on my body shaping, and now I got a nice air hammer, or my buddy lets me use his air hammer. So I just go to town on that thing and make it look all fancy, and I'm all about the looks of the car. If it looks good, I feel good. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite part. Just look like taking a step back and looking at the car, and it's nice and smooth. You got the body lines, and just looks nice, looks appealing.
What about you, Bailey?
My favorite part would probably be the cage, and then if we do like a cool paint job, like Blizzard Bash car, that was probably my favorite. Just sitting in the shop, taping it up, drawing it, and painting it. That was probably my favorite paint job, was Blizzard Bash car from this year.
Oh, so you guys painted your own cars?
Yeah, Blizzard Bash. Me and our neighbor painted the flames in the car.
Yeah, those look good, and it looked like you continued the tradition right on to the Wicked team cars.
Yeah, we got easy. Cody's buddy made a vinyl like wraps this time, so we didn't have to paint it. We just kind of stuck them on there. It was pretty nice instead of painting it. Doesn't take as long, and they kind of stick a little better. So you can kind of use a heat gun, and
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's get into your on the track stuff. So what's your favorite shot to give? Like when you're out there, what's the favorite, like if you could describe, like take someone through like a memory of just like one of the best shots you gave in your mind?
It's got to be when me and Bailey went nose to nose at Goodhue County last summer. Just waiting for each other, starting them up, and going back and forth head to head. And last summer, he took me out, and my car started on fire, and he won. So there's definitely, when me and him go up against each other, it's a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, you guys put on a show for the crowd, and you guys had some video footage of that as well on your YouTube channel. What's your favorite memory of a shot?
I'd say favorite memory or like shot. I like a good wheel shot. I will kind of scope, kind of play it easy, and then I'll back up to the corner, and I will hold it to the wood, and who's ever in my way, I will try my best to get a wheel shot. And a lot of these county fairs, the last couple of them, I've had a good opportunities of making these full track shots, and it's pretty fun when your car doesn't move and you can just keep going in circles and full tracking cars. And I'll full track the car. Like this summer, my plan is to just full track it. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I get out right away. It's just to go have fun. So,
Heck yeah, that's what it's all about. Having fun and
yep.
straight sending it out there. The fans, that's what the fans love seeing. I mean, in these pictures you guys sent me, the seats are packed, and that's what they're there for. They want to see them hard hits, and they want to see them crowd pleasers. So in Minnesota, do they have Mad Dog Awards or?
The IMP series that we run, it does not. But I mean, all the other county fairs around us do. Like NLR promotions, they have it Mad Dog Award, and yeah, normally they do. Just the place that we run does not, unfortunately. But
Well,
that doesn't stop me.
Yeah, that's a testament to you guys going out there and putting on a show even more because, I mean, you've got hours and hours in the shop building these cars, and then you go out there and send it just for the fans. There's no reward for you guys other than watching your awesome videos.
No, I appreciate it. No, I'll do anything for the fans. I mean, when you get out of your car and they're screaming at you and yelling at you, I love it.
Yeah. So, do you guys have like a memory that you would share? Something that's happened in the car that if you were watching, like just watching the Derby, you wouldn't have any clue what was going on and how'd you overcome whatever was happening.
Oh, that's a hard one.
I told you I'd make you think on something.
um, just I mean, if you're getting hit and you don't know what's wrong with your car, and just don't break your stick unless you get timed out. There could always be something little that you don't know, or maybe a wire got untwisted or something that you just if you're getting hit, just give it that extra 30 seconds to try to figure out. I mean, don't break your stick right away. That's my advice, I'd say.
What about you? Uh, Bailey, I think, or yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, mine's probably just got to be take your time. Don't rush a shot. Don't just focus on your main hit. You can't just be running around in circles on the track or you're gonna get targeted. So just stay in your spot, make a hit, go back, find someone else. You don't want to be running around in circles out in the track.
So you guys have ran a lot of team shows and kind of described what your plans were going into some of those shows, depending on the draw. What about your local shows? Is there a different demeanor or plan going into those shows, or do you guys do you like show up at a show and say, "Oh, I'm going to send this. I'm going to send it today, or I'm just going to try to win today"? Is there like a pre-plan going into the Derby?
The downfall of running like these Cloud County fairs, you know a lot of people, so you're running with a lot of your buddies, and usually beforehand, you just go around and just say the Derby, you're gonna get hit, is what it is, and usually they're pretty good about it. You don't really team up that much, but like I'll pick a car that I'm gonna target right off from the get go, and I'll work on that car until that car's done. And by the time that car's done, my other buddies took out this car, and I mean the pack is shrunken in half. And then by that time, you're hitting your buddies, and it's not really. I mean, it's fun. So if you take them out, they're really not mad at you. So
Yeah. And before we came on, we talked about self promotion, like of your driving, like as a driver, promote yourself, and that's something that Jacob, Joshua, and I talk about all the time to our local guys and just the drivers in general. Is just promote yourself, let your fans know where you're going, and that's kind of something that you guys do well by putting out the videos on the YouTube. And also, you guys mentioned that you might be making shirts that are going to be going up.
yes, yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're gonna be selling shirts and stickers here, and I used to be I don't want this person to know where I'm going because they're gonna come or whatever. And now I got to the point where it doesn't matter who comes, or I'm just gonna derby no matter what. If I get my butt kicked, I get my butt kicked, and if I win, I win. So just I'd like to post on my Facebook a little more of where I'm going and stuff like that. But my brother Brady keeps a really good job of putting it on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so is that the shirt you just sent me?
yeah, those are the ones we
Those
just
look-
had made.
Yeah, those look awesome. Yeah, you'll have to post them on your Facebook page and share them up, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I got the design made through a different person, but now I have the file, so I can have whoever make my shirts, and I can kind of do it my way. So
So I got a few philosophical questions for you guys. So what do you think makes like a good driver? Like who do you think is the best driver in the sport right now? And like what makes him the best driver? Is it his ability to make a car last? Is it that just his ability to pick shots? Like what in your opinion makes a good driver?
I think what makes a good driver is the ability to stay calm after getting rocked. You get rocked, and your first instinct is, "Oh, I'm going to get that guy back," and that shot could take you out. You could hit him at a 45 and get hung up on him, or could break an axle, or you're to the wood when you're hitting them. You break an axle. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of things.
Is that is the one thing like the most important thing is just that ability to stay cool, in your opinion?
I would think so. Yeah, stay cool. If you can, the building a car will come throughout the years. You look at other people's cars and kind of take off their ideas and stuff like that. But I think staying cool and calm and collected in a car goes a long ways.
I have no idea which one of you guys is talking, but
Bailey.
yeah, if the other one has a different opinion, they can talk as well.
I would just say, yeah, what Bailey said mainly. And I mean, if you can build a car, you can build a car, but it's all about the driver.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question I was going to ask. I think you kind of answered it, but what's what's more important? Like, what's more important for winning derbies? Is it the building or the driving?
Well, I think it's the driving. It all comes down to the driving and having a good running car. I mean, you can go off. I mean, you can full send it right off the get go, but I mean, you're not going to be, more than likely, you're not going to make it down to the end. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You can get lucky, but I mean, if you're going out right from the get go, making full track shots one after another, me personally, I don't expect me to make it down to the end. If the driver is driving smart.
Yeah, do you think that changes with different class levels or different like different events, like a team event versus a singles?
I think it's like a singles event in a stock class, you're more likely to like full send it and just give her the beans, I should say, and not worry about it. But like a team show and stuff like that, you're worried about your driving ability and how you can work as a team. It ain't just go out there and you can't, I mean, you take 4 built cars versus 4 cars that are built and guys that know how to drive. The guys that know how to drive are more than likely going to win just because they know how to drive.
Yeah, and, I gotta add something to that. Do you think that sometimes that the builder like pre-plans shots they're gonna take? Um, when I bring this up, I often think of like a Chad Markley at Carnage to get his rear end to fold up a certain way. He knew what he had to do to get it, to go a certain way, and he had spotters in the stands and stuff, and um, to be able to do that on the fly and then to really feel your car, I mean, that to me, that's amazing feat in itself.
Right.
But just to watch the guys do it at that level when things are happening so fast.
Takes a lot of talent. That's for sure.
So what the hell keeps you guys coming back? Like what makes you want to spend 3 months building the car?
Just I'd say the atmosphere, the 5 days you're there, 6 days or whatever you're there. I think all the people you meet and all the people that come down there from your area, it's just it's a good time, I think. I mean, it's a little cold, but you can bear with it. I mean, it's just one car a year that you spend that long on, I should say. So, I mean, I can handle building that. I just like going through that tunnel and meeting everybody. I love it.
Yeah, I said what keeps you coming back. I wasn't really talking about Blizzard Bash. Just what what keeps you going in the sport of derby? Like why keep derbying? Is it you're chasing an adrenaline rush? Is it that's where your family and friends are? Like what is it for you guys that keeps you ticking in the derby world?
I'd say the adrenaline rush. I like when everybody, like when you're first pulling in the pits and everybody's looking at your cars, and right then you get the jitterbugs going, and as soon as you pull on that track, you just let her. Nothing else matters. You can just the only thing that matters is you in that car.
So who's the better driver out of you two?
Bailey, definitely. He's got more experience.
I've driven more cars, but I don't know. He's held his own down there. So I think last year, 3 out of the 4 runs he's placed. So I'd say give him another year or 2, and then he's got me beat.
Oh yeah. So do you guys got anyone you want to thank for letting you do this sport, or you got any family members or sponsors you want to shout out while you're on the Crash It podcast?
I just want to thank my mom and dad for letting us use their nice lift and all that to work on their cars. Granted, I just moved and have my own place now, but I've been building cars out of their shop for the past 7 years or 8 years now. So it's got to be enough for them to clean up now. And just go subscribe to the Braatz demo team and 126 Customs. So go check them out. And that's about it.
Yeah, it's so important to have some kind of support system. Whether it be your family backing you or friends backing you, it's just important to have some kind of support system in the sport because we see it around here. I mean, these drivers are putting countless hours in the shop each and every week, and around here we run a big figure 8 series that my brothers Jacob and Joshua, that's their promotion company, and these guys have been spending all winter long just, I mean, putting all this time and effort into these cars, and their families are behind them, and that's just what's important. In figure 8 or demolition derby, or any kind of motorsport, you got to have a support system to keep you going.
You definitely can't do it alone. That's for sure. If I didn't have my buddies coming over and helping me unload the car off the trailer, or helping me put a motor in, or having my brother help me do this, or you definitely can't do anything alone. So it's definitely nice to have a big group of people that will come and help you.
For sure. Do you guys got any questions for us about anything?
Not off the top of my head right now, no.
What makes a good promoter for you guys? Like what is it?
I would say like universal rules would be the big thing. Just communicating with the drivers would be the second thing. What else? Yeah, I mean that's about that. That's our just communication is the big thing, because INP with Steve Heitman is what we run around here, and you can call him any time of the day, and he'll answer you. He'll walk you through it. I mean, he's a good guy. So I mean, I think just being there for the drivers is number one.
Yeah, I think it's so important for promoters to listen to the drivers, answer questions, and just work with the drivers. We see so many times where promoters will go, it's my way or the highway type situations, and I don't want to listen to you guys. And then you got the promoters that are all there for the drivers, and what works best for you, and how do you guys feel about this set of rules, and just ask a bunch of questions and stuff like that.
It's nice if you can like a Facebook page, like you're saying, like just keep on top of it and keep asking questions, create like a poll on there, and just keep everybody up to date so you know what's going on. Just show up. So, and then like if there's any questions on rules, put that in the Facebook page and say we've been having this question, here's to clarify it and stuff like that, and just makes it a lot simpler for the drivers so they know.
Is there a pretty wide disparity in rules between promoters up in your guys' neck of the woods?
I would say yes. Most of the limited weld shows are 6-inch bumper shocks, and what we run the limited weld is 12-inch, and then you get 6 plates. We run the only one that is kind of like that. Everywhere else is like stock to semi-weld, but usually like the stock shows, they're getting to be all universally the same. Like swap your bumper and you get like a plate to weld your bumper to your frame and a decent cage. The stock shows are more universal, I should say, but the limited weld and the weld, those vary.
Yeah, we do a little promoting in Missouri with Lucky Sevens, and I think there's like 14 different promoters in Missouri, and sometimes just a county away the rules can change, and we've reached out to promoters and just tried to get a meeting with them to just unify rules across the state, or even across a few different promoters, just so someone's not always changing their stuff, and we have not had any luck or any kind of interest from any other promoters.
The stock shows are more universal, I should say, but the limited weld and the weld, those vary.
Yeah, we do a little promoting in Missouri with Lucky Sevens, and I think there's like 14 different promoters in Missouri, and sometimes just a county away the rules can change, and we've reached out to promoters and just tried to get a meeting with them to just unify rules across the state or even across a few different promoters. I feel for the drivers whenever there's, just those little, just a 6-inch bumper bracket difference for those drivers having to change stuff or add plates or cut plates to go to different shows. It's irritating.
Exactly, especially when you're to the rules and you got a guy that comes in and has 2 extra plates and has to put an X in them or whatever. And it's just this little stuff,
Yep.
All right. Joshua's going to give you guys some rapid fire questions. Who wants to go first before we get you out of here?
Brady can go first.
Oh, no.
Who's
All right,
going?
bud. We got Brady?
Yep.
All right. These are just just short and sweet answers. We'll fly through 10 or 15 questions or so. So the first one, do you have any superstitions or like pre-game rituals?
No, I do not. Just turn on the GoPro and head in.
All right. Well, what's your favorite part of the build?
It's gotta be the cage normally, or some fancy design, make it look unique.
Something unique. I like it. What do you do for a living?
Recently joined the union. I'm a millwright now. So
Are you on a team?
for
Like a derby team?
no, not really. Just me and Bailey normally.
Yeah. Who's your biggest fan?
We got this one little kid from around here that he's pretty big. We signed an autograph for him once and came to a couple derbies.
That's awesome. Who is your favorite driver?
Oh God. Right now, probably Bailey when we go out and watch shows, but Jason Pagel's pretty good.
Describe your driving style in one word.
It's got to be smart, but you got to get on the wood when you can.
Yeah, that's part of being smart, I think. If you could change one thing about the sport, what would it be?
Around here, I would say probably the same rules around, or just more, just more communication.
All right. Where and when was your best driving performance, do you think?
I would say Goodyear last year.
All right. What's the most important part of the sport to you?
The fans.
I didn't hear you.
The fans. Yeah, to keep the fans happy.
Oh, I thought you were saying electric fan, keep the car cool.
Oh.
What separates winners and losers?
Nah,
If you had one piece
I'm
of
not really
advice.
sure.
Sorry.
What was that?
Were you saying something about what separates winners and losers?
No, I'm not really sure. I mean, you gotta know what you're doing out there, but I mean, there's not much of a difference. We're all out there to have fun.
Okay. If you had one piece of advice for a rookie driver, what would it be?
Take your time, definitely. you're not going to be good as soon as you jump into the sport.
All right. One driver into the Demolition Derby Hall of Fame. Who's it going to be?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
All right. We'll come back to it if it comes to you. For the last one, if we had individual like walk up music or drive up music like they do in baseball, what song's playing when you pull on the track?
Definitely some heavy metal, old school. Just something to hype everybody up.
All right, you went first. You were the guinea pig. We got Bailey next.
Yep.
Thanks, Brady.
All right.
All right. Starting from the top, do you have any superstitions or like pre-game rituals?
I do not.
Favorite part of the build?
The outside or the body, I should say. The look of the car.
And that is my least favorite. What do you do for a living?
I'm a bridge builder.
All right. Who's your biggest fan?
TJ Jones. He's from down south. I'm not exactly sure, but he comes to all my Wicked shows.
Awesome. Who's your favorite driver?
PJ Schnarr, I think that's how you say his last name. But he lays some hits down. He's definitely a good driver.
He's a good dude too. Describe your driving style in one word?
Fast.
One thing you would change about the sport if you could?
Drop less drama.
Like that. When and where was your best driving performance?
I'd say Wicked Team Derby last year. So 2022.
All right. What's the most important part of the sport to you?
I would say the fans again.
And what separates winners and losers?
Winners don't whine when they lose.
Good answer. One piece of advice for a rookie driver. What is it?
Pick your shots.
If you could induct one driver into the Demolition Derby Hall of Fame, who you putting in it?
I'm gonna put. Let me think real quick. Who am I gonna put? Let's put Corey Peterson.
Okay, if you had last one, if you had individual walk-up music, what would your song be?
Anything to do with like a pimp. I don't know what that song is, but PIMP, that song.
Motherfucking PIMP. Yeah.
Yep.
Is Corey Peterson, he's on SAF, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. Awesome.
Thank you guys.
You guys made it through rapid fire.
Look at that.
We thank
Perfect.
you guys for coming on the Crashed It podcast. We really appreciate you taking your time out on this Monday night to come on the podcast and tell your guys' journey through the Demolition Derby world. We got a couple things before we go, just for our local stuff here and kind of the Crashed It podcast and stuff. So this is going to be the last Monday night that we're doing the podcast. We're going to have the podcast still, but just not on Monday nights for all those that like to get in on the live chats and stuff. I've got just too many irons in the fire on Monday night. Probably going to be on Sunday. We're gonna look at the schedule and see what works best for everybody. Also, I want to say thank you to all those who are liking, subscribing, following, just helping promote the podcast and the Crashed It YouTube channel, TikTok. We appreciate everybody that's supporting us. We hope to continue to bring in you guys more content as the year goes on. I got to say one thing to all the derby drivers and figure eight drivers that are sending me Snapchats all the time. Man, keep them coming. I'm loving the ingenuity I'm seeing. I can't wait to see everybody out there April 15th, start off the year. You guys are killing it on your builds. I can't wait to see them in person. I think Joshua's got one more thing before we get off here.
Yeah. Guys, I'm always amazed at some of the shit that goes on in our sport. For Lucky Sevens, okay, we have all different classes. We got figure eight, we got big car derby, small car, mod, and stock. For any rules question, it's me and Jacob are the head techs. For any rules question, it's either me and Jacob for figure eight. Okay, for demolition derby, it's for big car questions, it's me and Tommy Stark. For big car bone stock, it's me and Ben Porter. No one else. Okay, so I've got some messages about people impersonating, or they're saying that they're a tech guy for us, and they're clearly not, because it was a bone stock class, and he said you could bring a car with 16 plates and braced rear ends. So just go to the source if you have rules questions. It's me, Jacob, Tommy, Ben. All right. It's amazing. But
all right. Thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. Like I always say, just go out there and send it. That's going to conclude episode number 42 on the Crash It podcast. See you all on the next one.